Hello everyone. Now we had some trouble creating this in class, so I'm going to go ahead and do a video on this. Now we're actually going to use SQLite. It's better than the MySQL we're trying to use because we were going to have to run the server and everything, and that was causing us issues. So SQLite, a little bit simpler process on you to understanding how to create the Java database and connect it with Java. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm actually going to go to this website right here. I'm going to pull this across. And from this website right here, bitbucket.org, and then SQLite, you're going to be able to go from the SQLite page and actually download from Bitbucket the connector that we need to add to Java right here. So we'll go to this site. I'm going to pick the latest version and download this. After I downloaded that, you'll be able to see it on your desktop that I have located right down here. So down here I have a desktop, I have the connector right there. You could store it anywhere you like. And now I created a project with a Java file in it, and I already added the SQLite connector to it. The reason how I did that was I right-clicked on the project, I went to Build Path, Add External Archives, and I went through my folders and found SQLite and click Open. Once I did that, it added this to the reference libraries, and now it's part of my project. So I now have the connector to it. Now, this database file that I created is I have the main in it, and I have one method. And this one method, all it's going to do is it's going to create a blank database for me so I could actually get started. And this is where we had trouble in class. So before we do that, I want you to notice up here that I have import java.sql.star, so we can use all the SQL statements in here and don't have to import them. And for this method, it's a very small method, so we could go through it actually. This method takes a string in that's called the file name, and as you can see in main, I'm sending it called test.db, making a database for my SQLite database. And you can see I'm using the file name here. Now this URL, this string, this is actually the location that I'm having it on my computer. So JDBC, the Java Database Connector, SQLite, and then the path. Now see this path right here? I went in my computer, in my folders, and I went to the C drive, and I went down to users, MGSI, and I made this folder. I made it, Java Database Programs, and I made the SQLite folder, and then I made the DB folder, okay? And then you see the database is in there, but what I did was, I'm actually going to erase the database there, actually minimize that. What I did was I made that folder first, and then I put the path in, okay? So it has to already exist. So this path has to already exist. It's not going to create it for you. I want you to go ahead and make the path and then put in the path right here. And then I have like plus file name because I'm going to make the file name when I create the database itself. So it's going to try to make a connection, and the connection based on the URL that I've described, right? And when it makes if the connection is not null, it's going to get the metadata for the connection to make sure it's using the correct driver. So it's going to print out what the driver name is, and then once it does that, it's going to connect to that URL, create this database, and get the metadata to see what type of data what kind of connector I'm using, and then it's going to print out the database has been created. So you can see I deleted the database in the folder, so it's empty, and I'm going ahead and run it. This says the driver name is SQLite JDBC, which is correct, and the new database has been created. Fantastic. And to prove that, we go to the folder, and there it is. The test is created. So we have a new blank database to work with.